I realized that I've outgrown some of the best friendships that I've ever had. And here's how I know. I hold on to positive memories to justify that we're still close. We talk about how much we miss each other, but neither one of us pick up the phone. And the saddest thing is that I still love them, but deep down I know that we like each other less.
One thing that I learned this year is friendships do not last forever, especially ones that you grew up in childhood with. You have to understand that they were in your life for a specific reason. They're not here forever, so you learn from it and you move on.
Friendships have seasons.
Yeah.
Your friends aren't always for life, right? Sometimes friends and people in your life serve a purpose for a specific time in your life, and then you guys outgrow each other, and that's okay. There doesn't have to be a fallout. You guys can always have love for each other, but you guys just aren't in the same space anymore.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You're not obligated to carry people into the next chapter of your life just because they've been there for a long time. Even if you've been friends for 15 years, sometimes friendships evolve and they remain supportive. And other times, one person starts doing a whole lot more than the other doesn't understand. And you have to be willing to just accept it and leave it where it's at. Not try to force anyone to understand the other, because obviously you don't to begin with.
I had to outgrow my old friends. I mean, they were good guys, but they stopped growing. Same bars, same jokes, same routines. Meanwhile, I was trying to level up. And every time I did, they'd make me feel guilty for it. Here's the truth. If you hang around people who clown effort, you'll stop putting effort in. It's not personal, it's survival. You either shrink to fit the room or leave the room and build your own. Not everyone is meant to go with you. Growth costs comfort, but settling, that costs you everything. Stay locked in.
People are talking about their experience with outgrowing their friends. And I do believe this to be true because I have experienced this myself, that in my 29 years of life, I have experienced friendships back in high school that were very tight. And we tend to grow each other apart as time passes by because people change over time and goals do not tend to be the same. When we were little, all we do is fun, play, and just hang out. But as we get older, things change. We have different goals and we got to move on with our lives. So it is true. Outgrowing friends is definitely something that will happen one way or another.
I think one of the most sad things that people experience, well, for myself, is outgrowing friends. And when I say outgrowing friends, it's more so like things just don't align anymore. You know, like the stuff that I'm into, they're not into, and stuff like that. I remember I was on the phone with somebody the other day, one of my homies, and he was like, "Hey, bro, yeah, man, this past weekend, man, I ran into so many big booty girls and stuff, And I'm just like, bro, I can't even entertain this conversation. Like, my mind is not there. Like, it's a form of, bro, I've outgrown that realm of thought, yo. And it can be lonely sometimes, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I spend a lot of time by myself. I don't see the reason to interact with a lot of people because we just don't click, you know. Like, they not lying, bro. When you start to get close to God, bro, it just, you can't do what the old you used to do. I can't hang around with people without a care in the world. Now I'm very considerate on who I surround myself with, very mindful on their energy, how I feel when I'm around them and stuff like that. Where's their intentions at when they meet me and stuff? You know, it just, I'm more aware, and it's a beautiful thing, it is. But there is seasons and chapters where it's like, bro, like, dang, bro, I got no friends for real. But in that time and in that storm of thought, you always gotta realize that you got God. You feel me?
You do realize it's okay for you to grow from your friends. Don't feel guilty. You do realize it's okay for your friends to grow from you. Don't feel salty. How I look at friendships is not something that's meant to last forever. It could, but really friendships are just stepping stones. They teach you about yourself. and you get lessons, and you learn and you apply it. And when you apply it, you usually change frequency. So that means like you and your friend can no longer basically relate to each other in a way. And what I mean is friendships are really just built off of convenience. You both are sharing the same access to something, whether it's like, y'all have the same job, from the same block, got the same type of hobby. But if you take that location away, if you take that habit away, from that friendship, then that's when it goes quiet a little bit. And what I mean by it is like, basically, like, let's say we have two smokers, right? Every day when they get together, they know they gonna smoke them some weed. Nothing changes. It's like, that's what we do. That's my guy. You feel me? But one day my guy, he changed his life. He want more. He want more for his buck other than weed. You feel me? So he stopped smoking. Me, I ain't stopped smoking. So, you feel me? Now, boy ain't coming around like he used to because he don't even want to be tempted, and he got other shit to do. Now, the convenience of him smoking with me and me smoking with him is out the window. I can't tell him that I got the weed, just bring the wood. Or I can't tell him, man, I got the wood right now, you got some weed? Or I can't tell him, shit, let's go half on this shit. You feel me? Ain't no more of that. And so now the convenience to do that is gone. What are we left with? I tell you, love. Because real friendships don't require constant presence. Like, I can still support my friend without all of his or her usefulness. if I'm saying it right. So don't be that bitter one when your friend outgrows you and y'all no longer can relate. How about you step up? Maybe that's your sign. But nah, you want to hate because they not going with the regular program. They just switched it up on your dumb ass. Sound like a fuck nigga to me. Boy don't even want to elevate with his homeboy. Instead, he trying to bring him back down. I don't know. I just thought I should share that before you turn into a hater and your friend glow up because you don't like that. Hey, fool boy. They don't like that. Fool boy. Oh, shit.
Outgrowing old friends ain't talked about enough, honestly. And sometimes it's not even a bad thing, Especially a high school friend, y'all just going y'all separate ways, y'all adulting. But it'd be crazy because it's people that you've been with for years, and all of a sudden the energy shift and things just not the same no more, and it's just how do you even address that? But I hate when people try to make it beef. It's not beef, it's just we going our separate ways. You could be fucking with a motherfucker for years and you going on your different path in life, and it's just okay, it was nice meeting you, I thank you for the experience, but we just going two separate ways. And it's not even that y'all can't speak, or it's not even y'all can't still speak or fuck with each other. It's just I can't fuck with you how I used to. But I know this shit, a lot of people go through this, but they got a friend and they just outgrowing them and they going their separate ways. It's just I still love you, but we going our own path.
You're not a bad person for outgrowing friendships. Remember, you're evolving, and some people you might meet and you might connect with, and there are some people that y'all are just not on the same page anymore. Y'all are different places in y'all lives, and that's okay. If y'all outgrow each other and stop being friends, that is fine as well too. Some people are for seasons. Some people are not meant to go into each and every season with you. So don't be surprised if you and that friend that have been friends for years suddenly not see eye to eye anymore. Y'all see things differently and can't find a way to come back and align. The fact that you're evolving and you're growing and you're seeing things a little different says a lot about you as a person, that you can grow. And I think that's what life is all about. It's about growing and trying different things. And yeah, I might not be friends with that friend from elementary anymore, but I have new friends that make me better and make me feel great about and that is completely healthy. You're allowed to do that with your life. You're allowed to have friends come and go, and you flourish with those new people in your life.
Back in high school, I had a best friend, and we would always hang out with each other. We would always play basketball and just hang out after school. Our goals and activities, hobbies were always aligned with each other. But when junior year started, there were some hobbies that I wanted to do and explore. I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I loved it. I fell in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! And my other friend, my best friend, didn't seem to like that kind of activity or hobby because I would be hanging out with the nerds, those geek guys who are into card games, and it seemed like maybe he didn't like the surrounding or the people that I was hanging out with. So it kind of sparked something. It kind of ignited a it kind of ignited something between us where we started not hanging out with each other because of that. You know, so hobbies, mindset, things in life, goals, those are some things that will trigger friendships to be separated, because that's life. You know, we tend to grow each other apart. We tend to go this way, they tend to go that way, and it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that, but it really serves a purpose. They really serve a purpose in our lives. You know, maybe they were there to help us during hard times. They were there to make us laugh. They serve a purpose for a reason.
There is something so heartbreaking and lonely in realizing that you've outgrown your friends, especially when there are people who genuinely used to like make you happy and give you this feeling of fulfillment, and realizing like this no longer fills your cup anymore. I feel like I'm talking more about maybe people that you were once on the same trajectory and life path as them, and it's just no longer the case. This is not me coming from like a self-righteous point of view. It's okay to sit with and realize that sometimes you bonded with someone just because of a specific time, situation, place, phase of life that you were going through, and to no longer want that friendship as you diverge and grow as a person is not something selfish or specifically cold-hearted. If you're friends with someone at 15 and they act the same way and do the same things and get involved in the same situations that you guys used to get involved with at 15, and now you're over that age and you've seen no character development, no growth, it is okay to not want to be in those situations. Although it's so devastating and so sad, you guys are just not there anymore, and it's okay. Like, no harsh feelings. You don't have to be in something that doesn't really fulfill you.
I think I'm outgrowing some of my friends, and that's a really scary realization. I really burnt out, and most of the people in my life had no idea what was happening. Even the people really close to me didn't realize how bad it got. They just thought, oh, business is a little hard for her, and oh, she's gaining weight again. But it got really bad. I was just really good at hiding the majority of it. And now I'm ready to share it and talk about my journey and rebuild my life after burnout. And I don't want to post it on platforms where I know some of my close friends follow me. And that's a weird one to think about, because when I realized that not too long ago, I sat back and I'm like, wait, why? Why am I embarrassed if they know these things? And it dawned on me that I'm a different person now. And we're just too different energetically and in our lives. I don't trust them knowing those things about me anymore. And that is so sad. And now I just would rather keep it a more surface level friendship. Nobody talks about that when you're trying to become someone you've never been before, you know?
Yo, this is AJ. I want you to know that it's okay to sometimes grow apart from your friends that you grew up with. A lot of times we think because we grew up with our friends from elementary school and middle school that they're supposed to be our lifelong best friends. But as you continue to grow, you will start to drift apart from some of your friends, and that's okay. Everybody can't come along the ride with you, and as you continue to prosper and grow on your journey, not all of your friends or even your childhood friends that you grew up with can come along with you. Sometimes y'all just grow apart because you're maturing, you're growing, you're becoming the best version of yourself, and you look back and they're not really growing or on the same level as you. No disrespect. We feel bad because we've known them for so long, and we feel as though, okay, like I don't want to leave them behind, and you know, I got to bring them with me, and that might be a little fucked up if I stop talking to them and we drift apart. But that's a part of growing and maturing and realizing that, okay, I can't stay around this circle of influence or circle of friends because I'm not growing as a person. Don't be afraid to move on from those childhood friends that just aren't on the same level as you anymore. That's okay. You'll get over it, and they'll get over it.
I remember there was a point in my life where I used to feel super terrible about outgrowing people, but then I realized something that changed everything. So I had this friend, we were super close, talk every single day type of close, and we went through everything together. And over time, I started to notice that our conversations started to feel a bit forced. We were checking boxes off instead of actually connecting. And me being the swell guy I am, I kept pushing through it because I started to really feel guilty. They were there for me back then, so I kind of owe that to them now to keep on pushing. But the thing that I learned was just because somebody fits your life perfectly at that one point doesn't mean that they're supposed to stay there forever. But people aren't meant to be permanent fixtures in your life just because you have history. Some people are there to help you through a chapter, not write the whole book with you. And that's okay. I stopped seeing it as really abandonment and started seeing it more as growth, because we both eventually evolved and we both eventually went into different directions, but there was no fight, there was no betrayal, there was no drama. It was just distance. And it was good, natural, honest distance. And I had to give myself permission to be okay with that, because holding on to connections that no longer serve you, it isn't loyalty, it's self-sabotage. I want you to know that you're allowed to outgrow people without feeling like you did something wrong. Sometimes growing apart is just growing up. Leave a like and follow me if you needed permission to let go, because growth isn't betrayal.
No one ever told me how lonely it is to outgrow your friend, because no matter how much time you spend with them, it still feels lonely. And it kind of sucks because you literally see with your very own eyes things that you used to laugh about together or things you used to do together just no longer interest you anymore. Or I don't know, it's just way more draining to hang out with them, or you just have way more negative emotions when you spend time together. Like you're no longer having that lighthearted fun. You just feel disconnected, and it really sucks, because if anything, there's nothing worse than feeling lonely while in the company of loads of other people.
All of your friends are not meant to make it to the future with you. You will have a million friends growing up, but as you mature and as you heal, your circle will change. Your childhood friends align with who you were as a child. Your adulthood friends will align with who you are as an adult. And that's okay. The sooner everybody else figure that out, that it's okay to outgrow people, or it's okay to not want to be stuck in that circle just because you've known a person for so long. Some people never grow. So yes, while it used to be fun going skating with CC and Bree on Saturdays and doing whatever else y'all done, that was fun. And it's still okay to have fun. But now you look forward to the friends that you can pray with. You look forward to being with people you can go out of the country with, have a good time, and people that are impactful in your life and beneficial and things like that. So it's okay to outgrow people without it being beef.
Don't get me wrong, it is really sad to outgrow your friends and lose them, because they're like siblings, they're like brothers and sisters that you grew up with, spent time with, did things with, shared secrets with. They're so close to you that you just had to let them go, or just life just separate you guys apart, because it is time. It's time for you guys to go your own ways and find your own path. It's sad, but it is what it is. One friend, you lose one friend, another one will come in the future. Friends don't last forever, as they say. It could be true. For majority of us, it will happen. Like friendships don't last forever because of just how things are in life. Different goals, they have to transfer, they get married, they have kids, responsibilities. It would be nice to have that one friend who you would die with to the very end. Like you guys are forever to the end. But it's rare. It's rare. Most of us will outgrow each other, and it is what it is. It's just part of life. It's part of the cycle of life that we will outgrow people around us, our friends, maybe even our families. So it is what it is.
I'm going to talk about it because I know people don't like to talk about it. Outgrowing friendships without feeling guilty. Nobody talks about this. Like, as you're evolving, you're becoming a different type of woman. Sometimes you outgrow your friends. Sometimes you outgrow the spaces and the circles that you've been around. And that's okay. It's no love lost. Like, we still cool. I wish the best for you. I want nothing bad to happen to you. But we've just outgrown this season. And like, I am a firm believer that everybody is not supposed to go with you in every season. Like, your childhood friend may not be your childhood friend now. Your best friend may not be your best friend moving forward. Like, sometimes seasons change. You guys outgrow each other, and it's okay to love someone and not be in close proximity or relationship with them. It's okay to wish well for someone and not have to be in close proximity in relationship with them. But I don't know where we have told ourselves that, no, I got to keep this person in my life no matter what. And they got to come with me in every season. And baby, like, you change. Things are going on. Life is changing all the time. It's not abnormal for you to feel like relationships change. It is actually very normal. I believe in not having any bad beef with any of my friends, that even if we're not in close proximity now that we once were, I'm always rooting for you. I'm always loving on you. And if I ever come across you, it's going to be nothing but love, you know? And so I just wanted to encourage someone that if you've outgrown a friend, or, you know, the friendship just doesn't feel the same, it doesn't feel like it's really meshing well in this season, don't force it. Like, it's okay. You might have outgrown each other in this season. And, you know, if God allows it to happen to where another season comes back around and y'all are in the same season, or it just makes sense, then reopen up that relationship. But if not, it's okay too, you know? I'm going to talk about it because I know people don't like.
Outgrowing a friend is the best, worst feeling in the world, because it means that you're growing, but they're not. It kind of feels like I'm killing you. It's like, damn, homie, like, I know what I have to do, but I'm not strong enough to do it. You know, like, I don't want to. Like, there was a time where I had respect for you, and now anytime you speak, I wish you would cease. I wish you weren't. You know what I mean? Like, because now it's a real breakup. There's no more love in my eyes. You're not as sexy to me as you used to be. And it's not you. No, it's not you. It's me. It's me. Why am I lying? It's you. It's definitely you. No disrespect. You kind of suck as a person. I don't.
You ever outgrow a friendship you just swore would last forever? Yeah, that was me. For years, we were inseparable, matching energies, inside jokes. We were outside every weekend, late night phone calls, the whole sisterhood package. But somewhere along the way, the friendship stopped feeling like home and started feeling like a heavy chore. I kept trying to ignore it, trying to convince myself we were just going through a phase. But the truth was, we were growing in different directions. And every time I showed up for her, it felt like I had to shrink a little bit of myself to keep the peace. The last straw wasn't even dramatic. It was me realizing I didn't like who I became around her anymore. I didn't like how drained I felt after every conversation. I didn't like how my wins made her uncomfortable. And I didn't like how loyalty was only expected from me, never returned. So I let go. And yes, it hurt. Losing a friend hits different because it's not a breakup. There's no title. Sometimes there's no closure. No formal goodbyes. Just two people silently drifting apart while you pretend you're not grieving somebody who's still alive. But here's the plot twist. Once I released that friendship, I made room for more peace. I made room for people who are my people. And if you're in that space right now, letting go of a friendship or a relationship that no longer fits, don't beat yourself up. You're not wrong. You are not the villain. Let's normalize letting people go who drag us down. No guilt, no drama, just choosing peace over chaos every single time. You're just evolving, and not everybody is meant to come with you.
Ladies, we need to start recognizing signs you're outgrowing your friendships early on, because for some reason, every time around this year, you guys start doing like audits on your friendships as if it's like tax season, but for your friends. And deciding to unfollow people, deciding to block people, deciding to never speak to people again. Now you're posting all these posts about protecting your peace, which is nothing wrong with that. Honestly, it is a bit strange to me that some of you wait like an entire year just to cut off your friend. It is pretty bizarre to me. Outgrowing your friend doesn't always mean that there's some type of beef. Like, you've outgrown your friend if interactions seem forced. Your values don't really align anymore. You feel drained after hanging out with them. Another big sign that, you're outgrowing your friend is if you're growing and you're evolving, you're really into self-improvement. They're just stuck in the same mindset, the same patterns, always want to complain about the same thing. And you don't. And sometimes, like, when you want to grow, it like threatens them, or they feel intimidated, or even worse, sometimes they try to downplay your growth. That's a huge sign that maybe it might be time to have a conversation with them or just completely cut them off. If this is a friend you've known for like years, I feel like you kind of low-key owe them a conversation a little bit. But if it's a friend you've known for a few months, like, you don't really owe them anything. You can just cut them off. But, like, you know, if it's a friend you've known for a while, just talk to them, see what's going on with them, and see if you can come to, like, some type of compromise. Just do that so at the end of the day, you can say that at least you tried, you know? But if you've talked to them and you've had conversations and you've tried, like, and there's still nothing changes, yeah, you're gonna have to cut them off. You're like, if there's anything I've learned in 2026 is that outgrowing your friends isn't betrayal, it's just alignment. Not everybody's meant to come into like a certain season with you, and maybe you guys can reconnect later, but for now, sometimes distance is like the safest option.
Growing out of your friend group, I say it's like the worst part of adulting, bro. Like once you get older, your friend group literally gotta be people that's on the same type of time and you on, whether you like it or not. Or you simply not gonna get to where you trying to go. And that shit hurts so bad, cause it's like, damn, you would see you and your mans or your girl separate or some shit. You really want that relationship to work. You just simply not the best for my career and what I got going on. Cause at the end of the day, bro, once you get to like 22, 23, bro, shit, bro, your career pay the bills. That's your life at that point. Ain't nobody taking care of your ass. You might have bro them who you used to hoop with growing up. He don't even hoop no more. He work at an accounting thing. He done got a wife and kids at 24. So you ain't finna be around him no more cause he got responsibilities. But dang, boy, we was turned up though. Then you might have bro them who you feel me, who you just grew up with in the hood or something. Feel me? He ended up becoming an IT consultant. You feel me? You might have one of your friends might be dead because he chose the street route. Then you might have bro them, he a content creator. He out there doing streams with Casa and shit. I ain't even got time to get up with his ass. It just be everybody have a bunch of stuff going on in their careers. They don't even got time for they real folks for real. And that stuff hurt because I'm going through that right now, bro. Like them folks not gonna be there. But I realize though that's okay. It's cool for everybody to go their separate ways, bro. But that don't mean it don't hurt though. Bro, if I knew that's what adulting came with, bro, I probably would have been straight a long time ago. It took me a while to realize that that's just the way life goes. It seems like.
I think one of the worst things is outgrowing your friends. Like certain things just don't hit no more. They really don't. And it's like, dang, bro, it's like we locked in. But at the same time, it's like I can't talk to you about the things that I want to talk about because you're not going to understand. It's just like a detachment in a sense. And you know, it just sucks because it's like you've been friends with this person for such a long time and y'all been clicking. But it's like you start to grow and evolve and things start to change. And the tough thing is sometimes you have to be distant just so you can focus on you. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say, but it's the truth. I don't know, man. It's like as I get older, I crave conversations that have purpose and not things that drain me. Like, prime example, yo, like, I don't like, at one point in time, I used to love seeing half-dressed women and what the celebrities doing and what they're doing and stuff like that. I was into that, I'm not gonna lie. So I can't get mad at my friend for that. But as I grew, things changed. I'm focused on my mental. I'm focused on positive things. How can I evolve? Things start going to make me better. I just put it like that, you know? And it's like, bruh, only some people will understand it and some people won't. And that's just how it is, for real.
One thing nobody talks about is outgrowing friends once you start getting older. The friends you went to middle school and high school with, it's like they're still on the same type of time and they're not trying to elevate their life. And that's okay. But me, I'm not on that time no more. I'm trying to do certain things. I'm trying to go to the gym, figure out different ways to make money and all that. And all they want to do is the same thing they was doing back in middle school and high school. It's hard to be around those type of people because you can't relate to them anymore. Like, you really can't. If you want to get to that next level, you got to start being around people that you want to be like. And those friends from middle school and high school aren't the people you want to be like. So you might have to cut ties, or you don't have to cut them out your life completely, but y'all are definitely not going to be able to hang out as much or as often as you guys were before.
The moment you decide to change your life, you're going to have to learn to accept that you're going to outgrow most of your friends. But this awkward stage, people get wrong every single time. Reason being is, I understand. Once upon a time, you used to laugh and go out with people and have fun, and now it drains you. You no longer see eye to eye. And this very feeling causes people to take either extremes. You shrink yourself and you go back to your old self just to maintain the peace. Or you cut everyone off and you block them and you label them as toxic. Both of these are wrong, especially if they were your friends. The only exceptions are if people put your life in danger, then of course you can cut them off. But the average person isn't super ambitious, they probably work a regular job. Does that mean you have to cut them off? The best thing in all of these situations is to openly communicate to your friends. I know most of you guys are non-confrontational, you're absolute spineless cowards, and you would rather just cut someone off. But if you explain it to them and you let them know that your priorities have changed and you no longer can see them,
If they respond negatively, now you can justify cutting them off or distancing yourself. But at least have that conversation, because that awkward stage of no longer seeing eye to eye and wondering what's going on causes people to either go back to their old self, which is very common. This is why people don't progress, or they cut people off and now they're going to have to be very anxious knowing that you're going to bump into that person one day. Save yourself the headache. Have that conversation. If they don't correspond, at least your actions are now justified.
Y'all want to know the 3 signs that your friendship is dead in your 20s? First sign is that when y'all hang out, it is weird. It is awkward. You want to go home immediately and leave. You know when you have friends and you haven't seen them in a while, but when you do see each other, it's like y'all catching up, on old times. It's not giving that. It's giving, hey, hi, stranger danger. Don't really know what to say to you, but it's just not there. It's weird. When a friendship gets to that point, for me personally, it's over. It's done. So, because why are you my friend, but then this is how we act and move, and we clearly are just not that close anymore. I think the second biggest sign is going to be that y'all just don't relate on anything anymore. One thing, especially when it comes to like having friends, is that y'all tend to relate on certain things. Again, y'all may be different, but I just feel like the core values may be the same. But when y'all feel like y'all are just kind of drifting away from that, it may be a sign that this friendship is about to die. I think another clear sign that the friendship is just about ready to die is when y'all don't make no time for each other. Don't get me wrong, we're all adults, we're all busy, so I get it. Even a phone call, a FaceTime call, a text message, like we can't find no time to hang out with each other. That's a red flag for me.
You will outgrow friendships the same way you outgrow older versions of yourself. They were built for who you were, not who you are becoming. Friendships are emotional ecosystems. They thrive when there is mutual evolution, honesty, and depth. But when one person starts doing the real inner work, like setting boundaries, healing patterns, the dynamic shifts, and suddenly what once felt like connection starts to feel like compression. You start to notice that conversations revolve around older versions of you. It's the same stories, same emotional loops. You realize you're no longer available for passivity, resentment, gossiping, or relationships that were built on the same pain. Instead, you're craving depth, accountability, emotional growth and maturity, and energy that feels clean. And when you try to hold on to friendships that no longer match your growth, it is like trying to hold your breath underwater. You can do it for a while, but then it starts to feel suffocating. Every new level of self-awareness demands emotional space, and you can't build new patterns while staying loyal to the old ones. It's saying, I can honor this friendship and I can honor myself for who I was and what it did serve me at a certain point in my life. But it is not something that I need to hold on to become a version of myself that better suits me. Not every single person is meant to walk with you forever. Some are only meant to witness your becoming. And once you've become, it's time to keep walking.
It's okay that you outgrew your friend. You were supposed to. Because the harsh truth is that not everyone is meant to grow beside you forever. Some people are just meant for who you were, not for who you're becoming. And that doesn't make either of you bad. It just means that you've changed. You've learned, you've experienced more, you needed different things, and staying the same just to keep somebody comfortable isn't loyalty, it's fear. So if you don't talk like you used to, if you don't laugh at the same things, if your lives don't align anymore, that doesn't mean that you failed. It means that you grew. And growth sometimes looks a little like distance.
What you got to understand and realize is that as time goes by, you're going to outgrow people. You're even going to outgrow yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being better and wanting better for your life. And if people don't understand that, then so be it. That's not your people. What you have to get in your head is that people are going to be people regardless of if you're bad or if you're good. They're going to be people. They're going to be people that root against you. They're going to be people that count you out. They're going to be people that doesn't want to support you. They're going to be people that hold this old version of you in their head and they're not going to let it go. But you as a person, you have to outgrow your old habits or you will never grow. You will stay the same.
Honestly, I have just been outgrowing so many friendships. And it is a weird fucking feeling. Like I've just been outgrowing people, places, and things that I genuinely thought I'd never outgrow. Obviously, it was the topic of therapy last week. And my therapist, she did give me a lot of insight. Obviously, that's what the fuck her job is. Sorry, I don't know why I got so mad. I was telling her, I was like, I'm just like not relating to them on topics that I used to feel like we used to relate on so much. To be really fucking honest, I just don't care about the bullshit drama either. Like, just little things where they're like, oh my God, guess what? And then they tell me and I'm like, that's what the fuck we're talking about? So long, I tried to relate and I tried to go back into that place of like, no, like I get it. Like, I don't, just like when I wasn't outgrowing them and it's like, no, I get it. And then it just got so annoying to me that I'd go to Sissy every time and be like, I literally can't fucking relate and I'm feeling just so annoyed. My therapist was explaining to me, she was like, just because you're entering a new chapter of your life doesn't mean they're going to come with you. Just because you're moving on to the next thing doesn't mean they're also at that point in their life where they're also gonna like move on to the next thing with you. Just because I'm at a different point in my life and I'm caring about different things and I don't give a fuck about the drama or like little things like that doesn't mean that they're going to be there with me. Not everybody's supposed to be in that next chapter, which is honestly a really hard thing to accept because I'm like, these are my people. Like, these are my people. They're supposed to be up there with me. Like, we're supposed to be doing this shit together. And it's like, no. The universe was like, no, bitch. Like, we have different plans for you. The thing is, it's like, I'm not ending friendships. I'm distancing friendships. I want that to be clear. My therapist was like, you're on a highway, like you're going straight. They took an exit. They can come back and meet you, or they like might not. I would just say accepting that and coming to peace with that has been so fucking difficult. Like, I can't force anybody to come along with me, number one. And I also can't force myself to go back to who I was like 6 months ago when I did relate to these people just to relate to them, because then I'm stunting my own growth. I feel like I've spent the past 3 months allowing this to happen and like allowing the distance to happen, which normally I would like fight the distance, but clearly it's happening for a reason. And I don't want to hold resentment towards people either. I kind of was. I was like, why the fuck are you thinking like that? Like, what? But I wasn't saying that. I was just like saying that to Sissy, and she was like, Livy, you can't expect everyone to be where you're at. Like, that's so unrealistic. Yeah, I feel like the most important thing is it's like, you don't need to end a friendship. And I've ended friendships in the past, but those were mainly because they were toxic. And it's like, these people aren't toxic. We're just not on the same page right now. And the thing is, it's like, with new chapters of your life, you're gonna meet new people who are on the same page as you. And it's like, there will always be so much love there, always. And there will always be that like deep-rooted friendship, but I can't just like sit and like force things to happen. Or like force things to go the way I want them to go, which is really hard for a bitch who has control problems. Like, I have severe fucking control problems, babe. I'm working on just allowing the distance and allowing the growth between the both of us. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't kind of scary, and I'd also be lying if I said it wasn't kind of sad. Nobody warns you or like teaches you how to outgrow people kind of thing. And I was like texting mom, I was like, you're old, have you outgrown have you outgrown people? And like, what did that look like? What was that? He was like, yeah, and it's very normal. Like, don't get too harsh on yourself about it. It's been a hard realization, but I'm glad I came to it, you know? It helps me recognize who are my constant in this lifetime. Like, I have Sissy, you know. If you're outgrowing people and you're like feeling some sort of way about it, just let it happen. You don't need to force yourself to relate to them anymore. And if they're meant to be on your path, they'll be on your path.
Outgrowing your friends will definitely put you in a situation where you will feel lonely. You will feel like you need somebody because you feel so lonely that you have nobody around you. But guess what? It's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to feel lost. You're supposed to feel that way because you're growing, you know, and part of growing, you need to be alone. You need to be lonely. You need clarity. You know, you need to have a vision. You need to be focused. And in order for you to be focused, sometimes you need to be alone. You need to be not distracted. So it really is part of life. When you are being separated from your friends, from your old friends because of life, it's a signal for you to find your own path, to start something new for yourself. Development stage. We're all gonna have to go through it. It may not be your time, it may not be their time right now, but one way or another, it'll come. And we will all realize that it's time. It's time to move on and find my own path. There it is. Peace.